Hello and welcome to another Wargame Red Dragon video with me, Bubblebox, Silver Raptor, and of course Vulcan from Vulcan HD Gaming. Please do check his link in the description below. And today we are continuing with the Vulcan and Silver and Vulcan Do Decks series, having a look at the Blue Dragon Armoured Deck. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
So Silver, let's kick off with the logistics as per normal.
All right. Well, I got a fob as usual, but fobs are especially important, I think, in armored decks due to the fact that with armor pushes, all those tanks using up fuel, they do need to be resupplied every so often, and when they get resupplied all at once, that just empties supply trucks like no tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
there's definitely important to have a fob to manage to supply your tanks and armored pushes. Um, for supply helicopter, I did get the CH-47D. Is one thing about armor pushes is that the farther and farther they get, the longer and longer it takes for supply trucks normally to get to them. So sometimes you actually need helicopters to try to catch up with the tanks to help keep them going. And then, of course, I got regular Chugata cargo trucks because I like to look better than the K511 cargoes, which I know Vulcan is glaring angrily at me for.
Okay. And
and
your commands?
and my CV, since this is an armored deck, I decided to go into the spirit of things and get a Nana Yon Shiki ACV tank.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Vulcan.
Um, okay, so for my CVs, I actually have two CVs again. I like to take my two CVs. I've got the Nana San Shiki CV and a Nana Yon Shiki A CV, the tank. It's a really, really cheap tank CV, so I think it's worth having anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't have anything, but it can particularly defend itself against air or artillery is going to get to it as well, especially if it's like an AP power sort of stuff, which is kind of annoying. Like if I don't know what kind of air artillery.
Smirch.
Well, yeah, if you're playing. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, a Smirch, yeah. So yeah, the Smirch can take this out pretty easy, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, definitely still a good command unit. I've got a fob, I've got the CH-47D, and I do indeed have the K511 cargoes instead of the Chugata cargoes because of aesthetics. So you are right
I
there.
I think I like the look of mine better than yours. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you love those little box trucks.
Yeah, they're so
I'm
cute.
I'm going to have the final vote on this one, obviously. See what
Yeah.
I've got. But for me, first do my commands first. I was thinking about getting a tank command, but then I thought, well, if I get a tank command, I really have to get another command as well because you can't kind of just have a tank command. So instead, I did go for the armored. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the M113A1 command of the Japanese, I think it is. No, sorry, of the Koreans. So
Yeah.
I went for
GB
that in
Chop.
the end. Yeah, because you get five of them, so I don't have to get like an extra one. Oh no, hold on, you get seven of them. Yeah, you get seven. Oh okay. Oh no, five. Five. Yes, you get five of
Gonna
them.
say 7.
Yeah.
What game
I,
are you playing?
I've got my game's called Clicking on the Wrong Unit. I know I've got a fob as well, of course. This time I've got the CH-14D as well, and I have got the Chagata cargo trucks. Yeah.
God damn it.
Aha! Victory is mine.
So good looking these trucks. I had to get them. Anyway, let's
They've got
move on.
three windshield wipers. How many trucks do you have three windshield wipers?
Let's move on to the infantry then. Vulcan.
Okay, so in the infantry, um, I'm starting off with a couple cards of Sachongsu 85 with the KAFB 4050s. The KAFB 4050 is basically an LVTP 7A1.
Yeah.
Incredibly strong APC to support your infantry. The grenade launcher with the 1,225 meter range, incredibly useful. Just yeah, to help your Sachongsu uh, take ground basically. The
Okay.
Sachongsu 85 just again a decent value for money 10-point infantry squad. They have the M60, which has 980 meter range, which is really strong because when they're in a defensive position, they can engage infantry from a very long distance. So that's what I really like about the Sachongsu 85. Um, 20 points basically between them for that infantry squad and basically an LETB. It's an absolute steal.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Then I have 2 cards of Shuju Buntai 90, and these are both in Hachi Kaioshikis. I have 1 squad at trained and 1 squad at hardened, mainly to change the veterancy of the Hachi Kaioshiki over the Shuju Buntai squads. The Shuju Buntai is still pretty decent, but not the best. Still regular infantry, 15-point regular infantry, have a better AT weapon and a better machine gun than the Suchongsu. Well, they lack the range that the Suchongsu have, but it's got better accuracy. So yeah, a decent infantry squad again, but the Hachi Kaioshiki is the reason you bring them. It has a 3 AP power auto cannon. That's a 35mm cannon with 50% accuracy. It's just incredibly useful for taking out enemy APCs, especially, and enemy light vehicles, and also has the Saklos missiles of 45% accurate, 17 AP power missiles, which can also be used to hit heavier armor, which is again very useful. So
Yep.
in combination with the KAFV 4050s, they synergize very well.
Cool.
Then finally, I've got a manpad squad, the PSAM. These have 70% accuracy, 2,450 meter range, so not too short on their range either, with 5 HE power. So a nice, strong manpad squad to finish off.
Excellent. Silver.
I also got the Soshangsu 85s and the KAFV 4050s. Like Vulcan said, very good value for money, both the truck and the infantry. Especially if you put the Soshangsu 85s next to U.S. Riflemen, which are the same points. They kind of outclassed them, I think. So yeah, very good. I also missed this, Vulcan. I originally got another stack of Soshangsu 85s, but in the KAFV 25s with those autocannons. But then when you said the Soyu Buntai 90s in the Hachi Kaioshiki, I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I miss these? So I just swapped them out just now. Got, like you said, they're very good trucks, pretty good infantry to go along with it. I also got the Jikasa Hiwagi Ban, the recoilless rifle. And I've had fairly good success with this. You can get a lot of them out. They're very good at just sort of peppering the enemy. A little bit of distance to keep vehicles and stuff away from villages. So it's better to kind of hold a village so your tanks don't have to worry about it if an enemy doesn't push. Help keep them away. I also got some Chew Mats because these are very good anti-tank squad. So I got these to help more control once I have the control of the village to keep tanks and other stuff away. So I got a stack of Chew Mats. And then, of course, I got some PSAMs as well. I decided between the Mistral and the PSAMs, but the PSAMs do have the longer range over the Mistral, so I decided to get those as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, mine's very easy to do. I got the PSAMs as well, but I got 2 sets of them, both in the Nanasanshikis. Got to go for that 70% accuracy. And then for my infantry, I've gone for 3 sets of the Soyonju Bantais and 90s, all in Hachi Shikis. So I haven't kind of comboed mine up with the ones that you've got. I've basically just gone for one type of infantry. Could be a mistake, but look how many of those lovely infantry fighting vehicles I get. So I've got all those to play with in the game. And
they
that's
can masquerade as tanks. They can masquerade as tanks in your tank column.
They can, and they've one other thing to mention is they have got a 30% stabilizer as well.
Yeah.
On that cannon. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So let's move on to the support. And whoever wants to start off with the support, go for it.
Probably me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first thing I decided is to figure out armor pushes. They like to keep moving, so stabilizer is important, especially AA that has a stabilizer. So I got the K30 BIHO. Because even though it has a 15% stabilizer, it's not that good. It's still get a few shots off before you can kind of start the column and try to shoot down the helicopter. It is radar, so you got to be careful for that, but it's still pretty good. I also got the KM 163. It's not radar, but it probably pretty much never stops firing. I think Vulcan said in the previous video, in shooting down helicopters. So I got those for a little non-radar AA to help. I also got some Hawk Pips because these are pretty good, I guess, helicopters and aircraft. But the bane of most armor divisions is that you don't have the lack of AA. Our helicopters are very good at taking out tanks, so I had to make sure those are down. And then finally I got some mortars so that I could smoke an area so I could advance an armor column across without being pot-shotted in a well-dug-in hidden enemy. So that's my support.
Alright.
Cool.
I've got 2 units of iHawk Pip 2s. Basically staple radar AA, 55% accuracy with 4,200 meter range. With 9 HE power, definitely worth having. Then I've got a unit of gun tanks. These are very similar to the BHO. They cost the same but are better in my opinion. The BHO does have the amphibious capability, but I honestly prefer the gun tank. It's much more similar to the Gepards than the BHO is. So that's my preference there. Then I have the K263s, the upgrade of the KM163 that you were just talking about. It is radar, but yeah, this is the one that I was previously talking about, it being an absolute beast. It has like pretty much the same weapon, so you're going to get that same amount of firepower. I just prefer having the extra 20% accuracy there, and also the much better range against airplanes. 2,450 meters against airplanes, 2,625 meters against helicopters as well. So it's only going to get outranged by the best ATGMs, and yeah, it's generally a really, really good anti-air vehicle. I really like the K263.
So you've got all radar for your AA.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm confident that I could micro it enough, and also the K263 is cheap anyway, so I wouldn't necessarily care if I lost one to a seed missile, because the likelihood is that the one next to it would shoot down the seed aircraft anyway.
Fair enough.
And the one good thing about using cheap radar in front of expensive radar is that
it protects the expensive radar.
It does protect the expensive radar as well, yeah.
All right.
But even all of the radar is not even that expensive though in this deck.
Yeah.
I really like the cost of the support units in this deck. But yeah, finally I have the K55 artillery unit, just for some long range artillery that doesn't have too much dispersion, can hit what you want it to, and does have 7 HE power, so it's pretty powerful. It's basically the like a paladin basically.
Yep. Cool.
Alright, well, you did convince me, Vulcan, on the fact that the cheaper radar and everything, so I will swap out my infrared Vulcan gun for the radar Vulcan gun.
Okay, well, the bane of my life, of course, is radar-guided AA, and you have pretty much no choice in this deck but to get radar-guided AA. I've got the K30 BIHOs or B1HOs, whatever they are. They are a prototype. They are a really nice unit. They fire really fast and just take choppers out of the sky like nobody's business. They are a really nice unit.
They also have better autonomy than the gun tank, slightly, and they're a little bit faster.
Well, I've actually got a set of the K30s, but I got a set of the gun tanks as well. I don't know why I did that. I just think I wanted just a little bit of flexibility, and the gun tanks a little bit better armoured, you know, a little bit better stabilizer, but nothing much in it, to be perfectly honest. It's just a bit of extra armour, really, is all they're good for.
Yeah, the gun tanks do seem better.
And then I've got some normal Hawks, the iHawks. Now, I've got the iHawks and I didn't get the Hawk Pips in this case. And there was a reason, I think. Let me just have a quick scan these over. Yeah, they're 10 points more. They're 10 points less. But all you lack is, a bit of accuracy. I think that's all
And
you
also
lack.
the range on the helicopters.
And the range on the helicopters, yeah. But the helicopters, I'm really hoping that the BIHOs and the gun takes take care of the helis, and these guys take care of the planes for me. So I think they're my reasons. Yeah, it is the helicopter range really more than anything, but I think these things are really built to take out the planes and just sit back behind the lines a little bit. So that's my A8. And for my artillery, as is often the case with me, I've gone for a whole bunch of mortars. I've got 14 K242s, 2 sets, just in case my infantry get bogged down or my tanks can't get past an area that's full of infantry, and that is my support. So moving on to the big section, the tanks. Vulcan.
Okay, the tanks in this were, you know, they're surprisingly good. A lot of people will look at Blue Dragon and they'll say, oh, you know, it's Blue Dragon, you know, there can't be anything great about that, you know, they're going to be using Japanese and South Korean tanks. But yeah, if it was one or the other, it wouldn't be so great because you'd either have the Kaimarishikis or the K1s. But in this case, because it's Blue Dragon, you get both. So, of course, I do have both. I've got 2 cards of the Kaimarishikis, both at veterans, so I get as many of them as possible because they are the most OP tank on the Blue Force side. They have 70% accuracy, 22 AP power, 65% stabilizer, and 12 rounds per minute. It's just insane. That is absolutely insane.
You don't really need that elite status, do you?
No, you definitely do not. They're going to be hitting targets left, right, and centre, picking off all the APCs, all the medium tanks, and then just when they come up against the heavy, it's got no chance as long as it lands that first hit. So yeah, Kaimarishiki, very, very strong tank.
Yep.
Then to follow up, I do have a card of the K1A1s. These are basically a small downgrade, I guess, from the Kaimarishikis. 20 points less, and you suffer from a 5% deficit on accuracy, 10% on stabilizer, and of course you lose 3 rounds per minute, which is kind of annoying. I wish it sort of retained the rate of fire, but obviously that would be pretty OP. So yeah, the K1A1 still a very good tank for its cost, so I've got those as well, but I've actually bought those in at Elite, so I've only got 2 of those.
It is better armored and also has better autonomy, so it kind of could go farther if you wanted to farther push it or something. So
yeah, oh, it's not better armored.
On the back and top it is.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but yeah, most of the time I would only base off front armor because if you're going to take a side shot anyway, you're going to die. Then, yeah, moving on, I have 2 cards of the K1s, and I do have them a veteran, so I can get as many as possible. I'm going to be using these as my staple tanks throughout the games, so I'm going to be using a lot, and I want as many as I can get. They have 60% accuracy, 50% stabilizer, and 9 rounds per minute. Again, just incredible value for money, 85 points for that, and also the 16 AP power. These things are crushing, and they also have 17 front armor. The cost of these is so disproportionate to other medium tanks that you can get on the Blue Force side. So
M1 IP.
Yeah, getting like 24 of these is just insane. Then anyway, moving on, I've got a card of the Nanoyonchiki Gs. These are surprisingly effective against infantry, mainly because they have the grenade launcher. I guess it's not much of a surprise then, but yeah, they have the grenade launcher, and they also have incredible accuracy. So these can engage tanks at very long range and generally win. They have 10 rounds per minute with 65% accuracy and 55% stabilized, 17 AP power. You keep these sort of hidden in a tree line, and you're engaging at max distance. They will win their engagements, and they'll often pick off a lot of APCs while they're doing it as well. So yeah, a very, very nice tank, and then if you want to roll up closer and kill some infantry, you can do that. Moving on, I have the Nanoyonchiki Es, and the Nanoyonchiki E retains the same amount of accuracy and stabilizer as the Nanoyonchiki G. Pretty much just loses the AP power and the grenade launcher for 10 points. So in my opinion, still a very cost-effective tank. Then I also have the Nanoyon Shiki C and the Nanoyon Shiki A. Again, just there's downgrades for less points. You're making a big jump from the E to the C, but I think, you know, when you're getting to the lower point tanks, they're still very good value for money. So yeah, that's pretty much all my tanks.
Excellent. Silver.
I also got the 2 cards of Kiyomaru Shikis because they're very good. I got the cards of the K1A1s. I got those as veteran, just as backup for Kiyomaru Shikis in case the enemy somehow manages to kill my Kiyomaru Shikis. I have more K1A1s to bring in. And then, of course, the K1s, which is kind of the whole reason why you'd make a Blue Dragon Armoured Deck. South Korean Armoured Deck actually gives you 4 more K1s, but then you'd be stuck with the M48 AS or 5K and all that, those really, really crappy tanks that the South Koreans have to fill up the rest of your tab. So I think trade off of 4 less K1s for better tanks that the Japanese could bring in is is a really good trade, especially since you already bring in 24 K1s.
Yeah.
I also got the Nanoyon Shiki G. These are very good infantry killers and tank killers. I also got the Nanoyon Shiki A's. I just think these are very good. It's time to push into the front line to engage kind of like tank interception shots, or basically to take out infantry. They're also good infantry support. And I also got 2 cards of M41A1s at a veteran. So I have, let me do the math quickly, 58 of these 10-point tanks. And the reason why I picked these tanks is Bubble knows this. They single-handedly put us from a 1,000-point deficit to a 500-point surplus with just having all of these in the front and all of his K1s behind me. It's taking out an entire enemy tank and armor division. I think Bubble remembers that.
Yep. Is that it for your tanks?
Yeah, that's it for my tanks.
Cool. Well, I'm very, very similar. Of course, I've got exactly the same. Kiyomaru Shikis, 2 cards of K1A1s, 2 cards of K1s, and then I've got the Nanoyon Shiki Gs. I like these as a nice little tank. Not many tanks have auto cannons, and so they can defend themselves against those infantry as well if they come across.
You mean frag grenades?
Frag grenades can defend themselves against the infantry, yeah. And then I have got 2 cards of M41A1s, except I haven't got mine at veteran. I've got mine at hardened, so I've got 72. So
I don't
there.
think you need quite that many.
Oh my god, you dirty spammers.
And do you know why? Do you know why I got these? And you remember the old T-34? You've got to remember the T-34 spams Vulcan. The M414 has got a stabilizer on its main gun for 10 points. The bad thing is their autonomy is only 200 kilometers, so they're going to break down before they get to the enemy.
Their range is only 1,570.
Yeah, that's true as well.
But
But
that's
they are.
the same as the T-34.
Yeah, they're definitely a pure spam tank. Run them at the enemy. They can fire with their stabilizer and their machine gun. They only cost 10 points. I mean,
I don't know, I still think they have application in like small groups of
Yeah,
4 as well.
yeah.
Like if you put them into a forest,
Yeah.
4 of these up against like 1 heavy tank is still going to be really strong.
yeah,
So
Yeah, definitely.
that's worth considering.
cool. But that very quickly is all my tanks, pretty much. So moving on to the reconnaissance. I think you're still going, Silver. Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance. The first thing I grabbed was the JSDF Rangers and Chukata trucks. Because these are very good infantry with a sniper rifle. 10-man squads, bit of a frontliner sniper rifle squad to do with my infantry, so pretty good. I also got the OH-6 helicopter CV. I got these because, I mean, helicopter CV can see more, and sometimes when you're basically sitting on tree line to tree line with an open field, you kind of need a helicopter CV. Can sometimes see the enemy better in those woods, I think. But so yeah, I got that helicopter.
Yep.
And finally, I got the KAFV-90 because, I mean, it's an armored deck, so get everything that kind of or is pretending to be a tank that you can in this deck, I think. So that's all my recon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Vulcan.
I've got the 2 squads of JSDF Rangers. Yeah, great squads, shock infantry, with the DMR. Just very, very powerful. I've got one squad in the KV-107 and one in the Chugata, just for a bit of versatility. I have the KAFV-90 as well. I actually think it's a pretty decent value for money unit. 2,100 meter range, 50% accuracy.
Yeah.
You know, it does have some serious firepower for 30 points, so
Yes, it
that's
definitely
pretty nice. And then yeah, I do have the OH6 as well. Very good recon. So that's all my recon.
Yeah, very similar. I got the OH6D as well. Pretty much of a no-brainer over the other chopper, which costs 15 points more, even though it's very good.
Yeah, I just
Oh, sorry.
I don't. I have.
Oh, I thought it was no-brainer. Maybe it's not a no-brainer. Oh God, what have I said?
It's good optics, but it has 14 rocket pods.
Yeah, it has rocket pods, and it's just 15 points less. So I just thought, yeah, it's got to be better, really. But anyway, I think it's better.
It's got good optics over the OH6, which has very good optics.
Yeah. Anyway, I've got the KAF V90 as well, and a set of the JSDF Rangers. I've got mine in the Chugatas just to accompany my infantry onto the battlefront. So that's it for my infantry.
Cool.
And vehicle-wise, Vulcan.
Yep.
Have you got any?
Well, I've got one. I've got the KM132, just to provide a little bit of napalm walls, you know, like spread some napalm everywhere. Obviously, the bane of tanks is going to be like infantry sometimes, so you're going to need something to deal with that, and these are little 20-point cheap things to help you suppress those infantry, and also create smoke walls to stop HGMs side-shotting you.
Yeah.
Or firewalls.
Honestly, if you're quick enough, like an HGM mid-flight, if you manage to get that napalm down just in time, you can like napalm your own tank and make it invisible.
Really?
Not that I would recommend it, but you know, if you're quick enough, you can probably get away with it.
Right, okay. I've never seen anyone do that yet, but I'll be watching now. For
Pro
that.
strats.
Yeah. Silver.
All right. Well, I also got the KM132 napalm, like I said, with the firewall. I hoped you guys got the firewall joke that I did there. But I also got the you might Vulcan especially might look at me like, what? I got the M18s as well. It's a little bit. They're 10 points to go up with my other 10-point tanks, and they're basically just to provide a little more fire support. I just thought they're very fast at a speed of 100 kilometers an hour, so I just thought, let's bring these in.
They're going to be fast because they're just an tin can. I haven't got any armor. That's why they're fast.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, bring it on me, Vulcan.
It's not even worth 10 points.
I mean, at least the other little tank had a stabilizer and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swap it out, man. Is that it for your vehicles?
All right. If you want me to swap it out, I'll do it for my Rensu recoilless rifles.
Okay. Well, I've got one vehicle, just one. It's the KM113A1 Ito. I didn't really know what else to get, to be honest. I could have got the napalm launchers, I guess, but I went for the Ito. Probably won't use it, but it's there just in case I need it. So, moving on to the helicopters. Is it silver again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the AH-1S. Yeah, very good. I mean, they have decent helicopters for an armored column. Not many decks have that option.
Yeah. Vulcan, have you got that as well?
Pretty much exactly the same. Just one card of the AH-1S. I actually got them hardened as well, just to buff the Ito missiles a little bit if I need it. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Actually, what have I done here? I've done something wrong. Oh yes, no, I have got them as well. Of course I have. Yeah, I've got two stacks. Two stacks though, both at hardened. Yeah, nice little attack chopper.
Now let's do a contest. Who's got the South Korean version and who's got the Japanese version of the AH-1S?
I've got the South Korean.
I've got the Japanese.
I got the South Korean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, what's this aircraft I've just clicked on? Anyway, moving on to the aircraft. That is an ugly aircraft. We'll come on to that in a second.
Dragonfly.
Yeah,
Yeah, It's the first thing that pops up when you.
Wow, that was just scary. Right, okay. Aircraft. Who's heading off? Vulcan.
Vulcan.
Yeah, I have to begin with the F1. This is the best bomber you can get. Well, it's not a bomber. It's like it's like the tank killer basically because it has the SAL missiles, fire and forget, basically bombs, guided bombs that can kill tanks pretty easily.
Laser guided bombs, yeah. That you click on a point and those bombs will land right at that point.
Yeah, 12 HE power. I think it takes more than one of these to actually kill a tank, but they're decent and they're fast. They're 20% ECM, 1,000 km/h speed. For only 90 points, you get those SAL missiles. I don't know why they're called missiles. They're laser guided bombs, aren't they? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they are laser guided bombs.
Yeah, it's weird how they label it, but anyway, yeah, decent aircraft. Then I've got a card of FE or F4EJ Kais. These are your bombers, but they're also a little bit of air superiority at the same time. They have 8 340 kilogram bombs with 12 HE power, so they're actually pretty strong bombs. These carpet an area pretty well. They also have, of course, like I said, they do have SEMAC radar missiles, so a bit longer like air-to-air missile than you would normally get with a bomber, which makes them, useful if you're going to bring out a swarm of air-to-air, sort of like an air-to-air combat going on. They have 20% ECM, again, pretty quick, 900 km/h speed. They do get in and out of there pretty quickly, and of course they have the Vulcan gun, so they get into gun range of anything, they're going to shoot it down pretty quickly. And finally, I have a card of the F-15Js. These are the best air superiority I think you can get, other than the F-16? There's an F-16, Block 52, but you can only get one of them. So I prefer to get the 2 F-15Js instead. And they have 60% accuracy on the infrared missiles, 50% accuracy on the radar missile, but yeah,
those are semi-active.
They're actually pretty decent. Generally, you'd want to bring them both in together because they're not exactly the most reliable aircraft on their own, and I see them get shot down quite regularly. But you can't really go without them.
Okay.
So yeah, that's all my aircraft.
Silver.
Well, when I was designing this deck, like I said, the biggest bane for tanks is aircraft, so I got all air superiority fighters save for one. I've got the F-15Js, like Vulcan. I actually got some KF 16C, and even though they only have one stack of missiles, that's still 6 AMRAAM missiles, which are very, very powerful. So that still provides pretty good air superiority. And then I also got some KF SE Jisung hose for a bit of closer range support, kind of, to get up close, and they can also shoot at helicopters. Now if I got 5 of them, they're a little cheap, so not too bothered if they're shot down. They're basically to just keep the airplanes away from my tanks. And then I got some F5As with the 4 napalm, because basically infantry is also another main problem for the tank. So if you can napalm an area where infantry is, that's good for killing the infantry, I guess. So those are my planes.
Okay, they're all nice planes apart from the F5As. It's just the lack of ECM. I just don't think you can play Red Dragon with a plane with no ECM. That's all, really, unless it's end game stuff where you've won already. But for my planes, I've got similar. Apart from that, I've got a set of two of the F4EJ KAIs with the big bombs, and also the lovely 6,300 meter range Sparrow missiles as well, which are very, very useful, especially if the enemy are kind of defending more with air superiority rather than ground anti-air. Makes this plane really, really useful. Because to go with them, I've got 2 KF-16C Block 52Ds, brilliant plane, and I've got 2 of them to bring in as well, and that's my
seed
aircraft.
Missiles.
Yeah, well, seed missiles and 4 AMRAAM fire and forgets as well. So,
yeah, the Block 52 is really good. I just didn't really have enough activation points to bring both of them in.
Yeah, that's it for my aircraft, I think. Yeah.
All right.
So, who is going to go first and pick the K1
I'll do it.
for the favourite unit? Go on then. Is it yours?
I
Are you
already
taking it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm taking it.
Claimed
Alright.
it.
He's claimed it. Well, we can claim it as well, but do you want to pick something different, Vulcan?
I'm gonna stick with my little K263. This thing is just I love the little Vulcan on that thing. It's like my little mascot. K263. It's honestly
It is funny.
incredible. AA.
It is funny to see that thing never stop firing if there's enough helicopters.
Yeah, I swear to God, it like fires more than the PVADs. I don't know
It
if it's just
does.
because not many people bring in PVADs because like the Americans have sometimes a lot better AA, but yeah, like K263 is just incredible.
No.
Yeah.
I've actually compared. The PVAD actually will stop for a brief break, like for a couple seconds every once in a while, whereas the K263s just don't stop firing.
Okay, I'm going to go for the KF-16C Block 52D. Pretty awesome aircraft because you're combining your seed with your anti-air as well. So if all those anti-air fighters come out after you, you've still got 4 fire and forget missiles to shoot at them to try to keep them at bay. So yeah, really liking this aircraft, especially as I got 2 of them.
Yeah, 50% ECM, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, and that's it, I think. Any last words, gentlemen?
Nope.
Nope. Cool. Well, thanks for partaking in the videos yet again, Vulcan and Silver Raptor. Thanks you guys at home if you're watching. I hope you got something out of this video. Please do check out the other videos in the series and Vulcan's channel, Vulcan HD Gaming. Link in the description below. And we'll be playing a few games with this deck, the Eurocore Mechanized deck and the USA Marine deck as well. So thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.